Good evening. When most of us think of children working in harsh working conditions, we often think of black and white pictures depicting children working in the 1900s. The sad reality is that those photos are similar to current working conditions. Since our current child labor laws don't really protect children from working at farms, and the Parent and Agriculture exceptions in the Fair Labor Standards Act allow children as young as 12 years old to work unlimited hours in the field. 29 U.S. Code 13 exemptions to child labor in agriculture allows children at any age to do any job if the parents own the farm. Under these exceptions, even if the parents don't own the farm, children are allowed to work in farms if their parents or a person is standing in the place of their parent consent to it. Section 482 requires that child laborers not to perform work that is deleterious to their health and well-being. Although this section is meant to protect children, it doesn't work like that in reality. According to the Department of Labor, agriculture ranks amongst the most dangerous industry as of late, and yet there are around 500,000 children in the US working on farms, and hundreds of thousands of children are injured doing agricultural work every single year. Since the minds and bodies of children are still developing, agricultural work is particularly hazardous to them. Because children are even more vulnerable to dangers such as pesticides, they are, by definition, always performing work that causes harm to their health when they are working in the field. For example, studies show that children and adolescents who work on nicotine farms absorb as much nicotine as if they're actually smoking. Section 4B1 of the Exemptions to Child Labor in Agriculture requires that children be employed outside of school hours for the district where they live. This exemption also does nothing to protect children. A lot of children drop out of school to work in farming helps their families. And the ones who do stay in school are often too exhausted from all the work they've done all day by the time they get to school. And then their schoolwork is affected, their performance is affected, all that by working. So how can we address this? First off, children should not be in the field. Agricultural work is extremely dangerous and not appropriate for children. But what we must also understand is that poverty is the main driving force behind child labor in farms. So prohibiting children from working in farms will not be sufficient, because that may actually hurt their families even more by taking away that additional income that children provide. What our office proposes is that instead of prohibiting children from working in farms, we work around these exemptions to the Fair Labor Standards Act. As of now, if the youth is younger than 12, he or she can work in agriculture on the farm if the farm is not required to pay the federal minimum wage. So to disincentivize child labor, we must require that all farm owners, regardless of the farm site, pay at least the minimum wage for all farm workers, regardless of the worker's age. So if all workers are paid the same, farm owners will not benefit from child labor, thus reducing the likelihood that children will not be hired for agricultural work. So this won't burden small farm owners. We will work with the federal government to pass legislation to help subsidize this pay difference. Also, to guarantee that these laws are followed, we will promote programs in remote rural areas that will train previous child laborers to work as farm inspectors in their district. This will be accompanied by an educational training that will be provided for all residents so that everyone can learn of the dangers of child labor. Families, regardless of size and immigration status, will receive food benefits and rent subsidies that will be contingent on children's school attendance. We will reach out to big department stores such as Target to sponsor a campaign to keep children in school. These department stores will sell school materials and uniforms to municipalities at a lower rate, on the condition that we promote their brain nationally alongside this campaign. We will also work with these rural districts to provide adequate school programs, adequate after-school programs, so these children will have a place to go while their parents are at work. Our office believes that all children deserve appropriate education and that they should be free from the burdens of hazardous work. We also understand that many poor families depend on children's income to supplement. Our campaign will care for children and their parents by giving them the peace of mind that their children are safe and fed and that they are actively learning in a school environment. They will also know that no additional income will be spent on sending their children to school, and that if they do send their children to school, they will be awarded by receiving rent subsidies and food subsidies that will help them supplement their income. We will also provide for small farm owners by working with the federal government to provide subsidies to help them hire workers that are of appropriate age for agricultural work. We believe that our nation grows when children are safe from harm and educated. This strategy will help us accomplish just that. Thank you.